Black Diesel Garage. I'm Gabe, and in this video I swap out the motor in this 96 Ford F350 Crew Cab Dually 4x4. I put an 88 Ford 7.3 motor in this truck, and I started probably about a month ago. So I had longer hair then. I've cut my hair since and just haven't got the video all pieced together till now. So it's been over a little bit of a time span. And I've swapped the motor in this truck before but blew it up. You'll hear more of that later on in the video. And this video is mostly a time lapse on this because I already have a video of swapping a motor into this truck. Also on this video, I show a little bit of the little shop I actually own and did this in. So that's basically Black Diesel Garage, and I hope you enjoy it. So without further ado, get to it. Well, I know you guys have seen me work on stuff in a couple different places outside and in a couple different garages. But this here is actually my garage, so technically this would be Black Diesel Garage. I got a bay here that's, I don't know, probably pretty close to 8 foot wide, maybe 8.5 feet. 2 wooden doors. Just some stuff in here. The slab is pretty nice. It's a pretty smooth slab. And then over here, on this little side, I need to clean up stuff. It's a mess in here with random stuff. But I do have a buzz box I'd like to hook up, but I'm missing half this breaker, so I need to get a different box to hook up a buzz box. But I do have a outlet here, and it goes to the switch and to 2 lights up in the roof. I just got this little Hobart 140 welder, so it plugs into the normal outlet, so I can use that, which is nice. I do have a torch, but I don't have an oxygen bottle for it, so that's a pain. There's Drift being noisy as always. And then this side had some lights at one time, but they're not hooked up. But that's basically the Black Diesel Garage shop for you. Give it here, Drift. Where's the Frisbee? But there it is in all its glory. Black Diesel Garage shop. I did just stick 2 batteries in this. I'm gonna grab some starting fluid just to make sure it starts. So you haven't seen this truck, it probably hasn't ran for a month. I have a video on it. I put a motor in it, made it be a 7.3, and I blew it up in 3 days. So I'm gonna yank this motor out and put a different 7.3 motor in it. So I will be getting another 7.3 truck probably this weekend. I don't know when the video will come out, but I'll be getting the truck, tearing it all apart to throw the motor in this truck. And I'm gonna be sticking this in the little garage shop shed thing to start yanking the motor out of this. Let's see if she fires up. Hasn't ran for about a month. It used to be an automatic truck. Now it's a ZF5. It's always been 4-wheel drive. It used to be a 460. Now it's a 7.3. And it probably doesn't start good because I got it hot, so I think water's getting in the cylinders. And of course they don't start good when that happens from the head gaskets. That could have been too much, it being a 7.3 with high compression. Some people say you're not supposed to cycle your glow plugs when you put ether. I've seen people done it and I've heard it done. I don't know what I think. This motor needs rebuilt, so, or at least the top end. So I'm okay with hitting the glow plugs. Oh, it wanted to run. Let's try this one more time. Oh, you know 7.3s need ether because they have your ether cup holder, your passenger cup holder, and your cup holder. Let's see if we can get it to fire like that one more time. Maybe I can keep it running. There we go. Smoky. So I must have a little air leak there where you can see fuel. Kind of sad. Probably turn that into a little cold start video. So let's see if I can wing it around and nose it in the garage. Man, I don't know. That's kind of giving me second thoughts after I shut it off how well it restarts. Maybe I should just go ahead and pull the heads with it in the truck and redo everything. It starts pretty well. I don't know. I might change my mind. Probably not, but I might. Reason I really want to do the motor swap is it's pretty hard to change them while they're actually in the truck, the heads. On this newer body style, I think you have to even cut into your air box or remove your air box to get one of the heads out. And I'm a little bit afraid that if I might take the heads off and they might be cracked or something. I'll have to have them remachined and stuff. It's a lot of work to get up in here and do all that. To me, it seems almost easier to pull the motor, stick another motor that's good in here, and rebuild this one out and put it in my 1970 fire truck highboy thing. But it does start nice. It probably is easier though. I think you have to cut into that air box to get that head off. It's tight. And actually I'd spend as much money on this motor doing the heads as I would just popping another motor in it. And I think that'd be easier. I think I'll just pull the motor and stick the other motor in there. And then I will rebuild this one anyways and use it in my 1970 fire truck. So yeah, I think that's what I'll do. But it does start nice. It's kind of sad. Draft. You ready? And that's what I'm trading for a motor and stuff. I already have a video on that. And there's the Jeep running. Alright, so I have the crew cab 735 speed nosed in my little garage here. And I'm gonna start disassembling the whole front of this thing and get the motor yanked out. I'm sure I'll turn the camera on some for a video here and there if there's anything interesting, but most likely to make a shorter video, because my videos have been pretty long and I don't think it's been that interesting. Plus I already have putting this truck together with a 7.3 when I swapped it from a 460 to a 7.3. I already have a whole video on putting this motor and transmission in this truck. So rather than boring you guys with having to watch or skip through the video while I take this all apart, I'm just going to put it in time lapse. And if there's anything interesting, I'll stop the video. But most likely I'll be tearing most of this apart really fast at a snap of my fingers. Like this. And it's running! And I'm wearing the clothes. And it's about 5 weeks later, 4 weeks, or I don't know, sometime later. That worked great. Now it's running. Actually, no, you're going to have to actually watch the video. But, no, yeah, whatever. It runs or runs. So I got the crew cab over here, and it's all dismembered. And then over here, here's the motor that's going in it. A 7.3 diesel out of an 88 Ford. And here's the one that came out of it. A 7.3 diesel out of a 92 Ford. And I'm seeing a few differences, but they're pretty close to the same. It looks like the power steering pump bracket is different. But maybe the pump's the same. And it does appear to be the same pump. But this one you can't take off without taking the pulley off. This kind of bracket has a notch cut out of the bottom where you can undo the 3 bolts and drop the pump down without taking the pulley off. And this one, the lid just didn't fit the nicest. And it's kind of dirty, so I thought I'd just use the pump. I knew that worked. I think the line might be a little different of a line, so I might have to change something out there, but I think I'll go ahead and use the pump that's on this motor and keep it on this motor. And then you can see I have the oil filter off this, and I have the oil filter off this. One thing to look at when pulling these motors in and out with a cab on it is if you take your oil filter out, it makes it a lot easier, because there you can see the motor mount is, and it's pretty close to the frame, so it comes out easier if you don't have your oil filter on it. And then also your starter. I pulled this motor out with the starter on it, and I will have to swap the starter to the other motor, which actually I think is a hair different. I think on that motor it doesn't have this bolt hole, but I'm hoping the starter's the same. I would think it'd be. But it is a lot easier to take out if you pull your starter out. I got the motor forward and it slipped, the shaft slipped out, and this starter was bumped up against the frame, the cross member. So I couldn't really go up. If I would have gone forward, I could have gone up easier. So it would have just been easier if I would have pulled the starter out while I had room to. As long as the cone is on this starter, I didn't have enough room to pull it forward, and it would have taken forever to try to get the shaft lined back up, the input shaft for the transmission. So it's just easier if you pull your starter off first. So I'm definitely going to have the starter off when I put that motor over there in the truck, but I will need to use this starter because the other one's bad. And I do know on this motor too, all the injector return O-rings leak, so I will need to replace those. And I will need to rob the exhaust manifold off this motor, because this one is cracked clean in half. So I'm gonna find a spot somewhere back here to set this motor down, and I'll take that motor out of the bed because I definitely need the truck tomorrow morning and don't want to haul a motor around. So I'll get to that. So it's running. I have it all together. Has a few minor issues here and there. For some reason, the throwout bearing doesn't spin as quick as the motor and makes a little rattle. I think the pressure plate isn't making full contact. The truck still drives normal. It just makes that horrible noise, which sometimes gets worse than that. But it's together. I've driven it for about a full week now, and it works good. Well, it's together. And does it work? Yes. Does it work good? We're not going to talk about that. But it's together and it runs. It may have a couple issues, but it's further along than it was. There's some more things to come on this truck, but that's when it probably actually breaks again. Then I'll maybe fix it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. And if you like seeing 7.3 diesels and some other diesel trucks, we do have other trucks on the channel and some diesel builds we're doing, like a 52 Ford and a 74, what is it, F700 with a triple nickel Cummins. That's a V8 Cummins motor that we're doing builds on. So if you want to see more stuff like that, just give us a like and ring the bell to get notified when we post more videos. So thanks for watching. See ya.